The Montague Chelmsford reforms, formerly known as the Government of India Act 1919, marked a significant step in the reformation of British India's governance structure. These reforms stemmed from a report submitted by Edwin Montague, then Secretary of State for India, and Lord Chelmsford, the Viceroy of India at the time. The primary intention of the reforms was to appease Indian political leaders and activists by offering a greater participation in governance within the colonial system. A primary feature of the Montague-Chelmsford reforms was the introduction of diarchy, a dual system of administrative control. This was implemented at the provincial level, where responsibilities were divided between elected Indian ministers and appointed British officials. The subjects of administration were split into two categories: transferred and reserved. While Indian ministers were given control over the transferred subjects like agriculture, health, and education, the reserved subjects, which included finance, police, and revenue, remained under the control of the British officials. This structure was meant to provide Indians a sense of autonomy while keeping the critical areas under British authority. Additionally, the reforms expanded the legislative councils, both at the center and in the provinces, to allow greater Indian representation. However, although the number of elected Indian members was increased, significant power remained with the British governor or viceroy, especially in regard to budgetary controls and legislation approval. The Act also aimed at increasing Indian participation in the Central Legislative Assembly with separate electorates for different communities, a provision that was quite contentious as it was interpreted by many as a means to accentuate divisions amongst Indian communities. Despite the intended reforms, the Montague-Chelmsford measures were met with criticism from Indian nationalists who saw them as insufficient in terms of self-governance. Leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and the Indian National Congress demanded full self-rule, leading to a series of protests and civil disobedience movements across the country. The reforms set the stage for more pronounced demands for independence, serving as a preamble to India's subsequent intensifying struggle for freedom.